This is super in demand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I tweet the topic a little bit today. I would like to start my sessions with two questions. All right. Anyone in this room is not using WhatsApp, or anyone from who joins the online session is not using WhatsApp? Yeah, we all love WhatsApp, right? And the second question I have is, do we agree that the session by Zara and Genova this morning was great, right? And they shows us how to build a Power Virtual Agent bot without writing a code. And the Power Virtual Agent bot with the OpenAI as the main mind of it, right? So how about add this Power Virtual Agent bot as our contact in the WhatsApp so that we can consult the agent anytime we want. So this is the topic I'm going to talk about. I'm going to show you guys how to do that, right? Okay. By the way, as introduced by Sanjeev, my name is Kok Koon. I go with pronounce he or him. Most of my friends call me KK as well. We can call me Gan, Kok Koon, or KK, anything, right? This is my context. I'm a developer. I'm an evangelist with. I was a developer evangelist with Twilio. Yeah, sadly, last week there was this announcement by Twilio that 17% of the day off. So I'm one of the impacted role as well. No worry about that. I'm also a solution architect, ex-Microsoft. Now I call myself ex-Twilio as well. My email, kkgun@live.com. My LinkedIn, feel free to connect with me. Okay, so my session is going to be very practical and simple. I don't like to have a lot of slides. So there are 4 sections. I will show you how to capture some of the environment variable, the parameters from the Power Virtual Agent, and then how to create a relay bot, and then how to test the relay bot and link that relay bot with the WhatsApp. So that's what I'm going to do. So for the session today, actually, what I prepared, 2 weeks ago, I released a blog post. So this blog post will have all the details on how to do it step by step, right? So this will help a lot. So what we're going through later, there are 4 sections highlighted here as well. And there are some prerequisites as well. So I'm going just to go through this exactly and to show you how I do it, right? So now back to the Power Virtual Agent dashboard here. I only have one bot, right? So since this morning, we have a very great session by Zara and Genova on how to create Power Virtual Agent bot without writing code, right? So in this session, I'm not going to reinvent the wheel to show you guys how to do it. I assume that everyone here is a Power Platform enthusiast and lovers and who know how to create it, right?
Yes.
So what I'm going to show you is very simple. I have already created a demo board here. So I'm going to show you how I did the configuration, integration with WhatsApp. So when you open up the Power Virtual Agent, the chatbot here, one thing that you will realize that is there are different channels where you can connect your Power Virtual Agent bot with, right? So this is the whole list of channels, but there is no WhatsApp here. But no worry, you click on learn more about channels, and that will bring us to how to configure channels. And one of the topic here is actually how to add your bot to the Azure Bot Service Channel. So what is Azure Bot Service Channel? If you do a search, you realize that Power Virtual Agent bot is actually based on the bot framework as well. And the bot service has a whole list of integrations or different channels to connect to. So this is the whole list, right? And then now back to the topic here. How do you connect the Power Virtual Agent bot to the service channels? So you need to write a relay bot to sit in between to help passing the message between the Power Virtual Agents users to the backend channels, right? But then if you click on the sample relay bot here, you realize that there's no sample code provided in the NPM, but there are other codes here. So this session, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create it. I have prepared the code as well. So to do that, right? So if you switch back to my blog post here, I actually have show you the steps on how to get the environment variables. We're going to skip all this, yeah? I'm going to show you how exactly we can do that. And then under the blog post, I also shared my repositories here as well. So if you click on this link, I have actually the code. In the blog post, I actually show you step by step how to create the applications and how to create a code as well. But for the demo today, I'm not going to do that. Right? We tend to be all the citizen developers. You just take the code and then make minor changes and make it work, right? So I'm going to take this code. So in my blog post, I mentioned that you will need some prerequisites as well. So this includes the .NET version. So you need to have a .NET installed as well. And then you need to have other prerequisites as well. So with that, right, I'm going to clone my, if you take a look at my folder, there's nothing here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clone my repo to here. But of course, you can also follow the steps like how to create if you prefer to write the code yourself. So I'm going to change directory to, let's take a look, port connector. Change directory to port connector. So here we are. So what I'm going to do is to show you the code that you have copied from the repo. Right, it's quite a simple C# code. So what you're going to do, if you switch back to my blog post here. We will skip all the code, but what we need to do next is we'll scroll down. Yep, to fill up this from the bot connectors, from the bot channel. So let's switch back. So I already have the bot, right? What I need to do is I go to details of the bot. I know the name. I'm just going to take the name of my bot first, right? So switch back to my code here. The bot's name. I'm going to replace it to the code here. Next is under the advanced tab here. I'm going to copy the environment ID, the tenant ID. And then we're going to replace with this. The bot ID. Take the bot app ID. And the bot token endpoint. So switch back here. Now under the channels, right? All these will give you the same token endpoint actually. So I'm going to click on Tutorial, and this is the token endpoint. I'm just going to take this entire URL. I'll switch back. Press this here. All right, and now I'm going to save this code. That's it. You need to do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run the applications. So with that, I'm going to do .NET watch run. It's going to compile and then it's going to run the program, and then it will bring up the Swagger API documentations. And from there, you know that you can do a test. It's actually an endpoint. This program is actually a web service where you can interact with the relay bot. And the bot is actually helping us to pass a message to the, the API endpoint is actually help us to pass the message to the bot and get a return and response back to us. So I'm just do a quick test here. So maybe from my mobile number, I'm just going to say hi there and run this. So we know that our endpoint is up and running, right? With this test, you see, we get a response from the bot like, okay, I'm a virtual agent, blah, 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 right? Okay, we are good to go then. So now I'm going to bring back to the interface here. You see, actually response, I log the response as well. So we know that, we are actually getting a response. So I'm going to take a look at these. My server is running at port 5157. So since it's running locally, I need to use tools like ngrok to set a tunnel so that my external application will be able to access for the demo purpose only. Yeah. Of course, for the actual production, you need to deploy the pod to the Azure environment so that your service is made available to the endpoint, the channel services, right? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use the nrock tool. HTTP 5157, right? Double check. All right, this will give us the URL. So I'm going to take this URL. Okay, now I'm going to switch back. So the application itself is actually giving us the same response from the bot. So we have seen how the bot we interact, we test the bot, right? So it's exactly as here as we are having a different channels or different interface to talk to the bot. So this is exactly what the bot will give us, right? So since we already have this application up, the relay bot up and running, right? What we need to do is back here. Oh, here. Okay. So I'm using the Twidio Twidio console here to help us to give us the WhatsApp channels. But you can also use other applications like InfoBip or Meta itself directly. You can also do that, right? For this demo, I'm going to use Twidio. So what I need to do is I'm going to log into my console. Then I will go to the messaging. Under the messaging, I have settings. Under the setting, I have because they provide the WhatsApp sandbox setting. So what I need to do now is I need to configure when a message comes in from my WhatsApp to my WhatsApp number, how am I going to handle that conversation, right? So this is basically what it does. So when a message comes in from your WhatsApp contact, I'm going to relay, I'm going to get this message to be handled by my relay bot now, okay? So this is what it does. All right, and then because my bot is actually served at this path, the endpoint, the bot connector start bot. So this is what I'm going to do. Besides the URL, I need to add this as well. So once I've done with this, I just need to save this setting, right? So we are still in the same box only. I haven't configured which number I'm going to use as a WhatsApp contact, right? So we're going to use the sandbox number. So as you can see here, there is a sandbox number provided. So what you can do now, take up your phone, send a message to this number, +1 415 523 8886, and send this message, join Seek Curious. Okay, send this message. Because Sandbox has all the regulations like a business are not supposed to or will not be able to initiate a free form message to anyone. That is to prevent any scam or blasting of messages to anyone you want, right? So they are only allow you to initiate a templated message. But if you initiate a conversation with me, then I'll be able to have a conversation back to you within the windows of 24 hours. After that, I won't be able to start any message with you again. So that's how it works. So once you have joined this, then you can start chat to the bot, right? After you join, let me check if any one of you joined the bot here. If I click a refresh screen, you will see this is the list of users who have joined the sandbox. Not yet. Yeah.
There.
Yeah. Please do that.
You are all set, it says.
All set. Then you can start to type something like hi there. I'm sorry, I didn't set up my phone to show you how the WhatsApp works, but I want you to try it out, right? So you will know like how that works. So with that simple demo, actually I planned the session to be longer, but I don't want to go through all the steps by creating the code today. So I think it should be very fast and quick just to demonstrate to you how quickly you can add a chatbot like what with OpenAI brand as a contact where you can just consult the Power Virtual Agent. Responded?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Actually, I can see from here as well. My code. Where's my code? Yeah, there are some response. So these are all the response, right? And then you type location and your question. So this is just a simple board that I didn't show all the with the Power Agent bot you can actually do a lot more, right? Yeah.
Sorry, real quick, I might have actually missed that. So from your bot, you got the bot ID and you put it in the settings JSON, right?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. Okay. Any question? That's all I want to show actually. I know I run through it very fast, but
This is fabulous
Yeah.
because what we had done was from WhatsApp, say, hey, my AC is not working.
yes.
And then it goes to Power Apps on Teams.
Yes.
It actually comes in as on Teams as a chat. You click on it, it opens up a Power App to that exact case.
All right.
And then you can assign a person, technician, so on and so forth. This is fabulous stuff.
So
Fabulous.
you
Thank
see,
you.
customer engagement is about how you reach out to all your users, right? How to make the services
Yeah.
available to the user, and
Right.
that is the key things. What channel to use,
Yeah.
right? And that is what the Power Platform, capabilities allow you to add different channels to it.
Sorry, licensing wise from Twilio,
Yeah.
what do we have to be?
Okay. Twilio is just a mechanism where it help to provide another layer of API to interact with WhatsApp.
Yep.
So any messages you send to WhatsApp or send to WhatsApp,
Yep.
WhatsApp is going to charge certain amount of
Right.
money.
Right.
I don't know how much.
Right.
Yeah.
So in terms of licensing, you pay for the license of virtual agent, you pay for WhatsApp for business, and then you pay Twilio, right? So kind of like 3 layers.
Twilio is actually is
Or
actually collecting or
Infobase
Meta.
or whoever, yeah.
Yeah, or
or
Meta.
Meta. Yeah. Okay, got it.
So WhatsApp for business here.
Yeah, you have to pay as
Yeah.
well.
Yes.
Right. So it's a very simple 4 steps. Collect the environment variable from Power Virtual Agent. You create a relay bot, which I have the code repository for you guys, and then just run a test and then config the WhatsApp
Right.
box.
KK, if I ask to talk to human, can it be converted to a human conversation? For example, if you connect
Yes.
this to CS, D365 CS, right?
Okay, that is what you need to do in the Power Virtual Agent.
Yeah.
When we talk to Power Virtual Agent, there are certain things that you want the top brand, which is the OpenAI, to handle.
Mm.
And there might be you type something that will trigger the point where, okay, you want to pass this or talk to someone. So the Power Agent is supposed to be the logic where you configure how to handle the call, handle the message to someone else.
Got it.
Yeah, should be there.
And it can also be proactive, right? So for example, if I'm a brand and I want to interact with the people via WhatsApp, I can utilize my virtual agent for a marketing campaign or something, right?
Yes, exactly.
Amazing.
All right. So Yeah.
I think there is a very good business idea in Singapore also. If you see that a lot of hawker centers are there,
Right.
they don't have any portal or anything. Sometimes we want the food and they don't know how to order, but
Yeah.
they have WhatsApp. I
Yeah.
think we can automate it and send the WhatsApp order and immediately they can deliver. They know where to deliver and what to deliver. If it is nearby, they can deliver.
Yeah.
Even they can make it ready. Even I'm coming from office, I can say, okay, make it ready. I will reach in distance.
Yeah, yeah, like click and
This is
collect. Yeah.
Like customer to customer directly, we can do this kind of business.
So to his point, right? If it's not WhatsApp for business, can we still do that? Is it if it's
Meta only allow
WhatsApp
WhatsApp
for
for
business? Yeah,
business.
exactly. So it cannot be
It cannot be another human
like C2C.
acting like another human
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
to your friend.
Yeah, it's a
That's not
B2C
allowed.
motion. Yep, agree.
Between
So also to just kind of understand the argument a little bit more, right? So on the one hand, you have a virtual agent. On the other hand, you have your, Twilio as a broker between, WhatsApp. So in between, you had your
The relay bot.
the relay bot. Could I use a Azure function?
relay board, right?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
Right? So
I
it's an
believe-
HTTP endpoint.
I believe you can also use the Power Flow as well, Power Automate as well.
Ah,
Yeah, but you just need, yeah, because there were no examples, no samples on how to do that. You just need to go ahead.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Because I mean, for me, it was more thinking about the functions.
Yeah.
And the HTTP endpoint. Right?
Actually, what was provided by, the samples here, is basically this architecture, right? Your Power Virtual Agent board, and then all the board service channels, and in between, sadly, I think there's a power of the Power Platform where it supports you low code, but if you want to go beyond something that is very powerful, then they are still allow you to do it, but just that you need to, trick a bit on how to do that. Right.
Amazing.
So,
Folks, more questions because I just noticed Renee is supposed to go at 1:30. And Renee, and then we've got I don't know how this happened. I honestly don't know how this happened. Maybe
Magic
the
of
lunch
speaking.
thing mucked us up a little bit.
Yeah.
But maybe we should have had more time, like freedom for lunch, and then started a little later.
apologize for the
Did we actually
station's
miss anybody?
timing.
Miss anybody, right? No, it's surprising. This is the
Ini-
first one.
Initially, when I planned, I was going through the coding, but I think I am skipping that
No,
coding
that's okay.
portion. Yeah,
That's
I think
okay.
that's
I mean, this is the first time ever that we've been ahead.
cool.
Otherwise, people go on and on and on, like, they become drones, they drone on and on. So we have literally 20 minutes, and we had a really juicy conversation with Michael. Lots of questions.
There is a
So-
question for
Yeah.
KK.
A question in the chat window.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay.
How do
Yeah,
I check?
guys, I think guys, in
Yeah, where can I access your detailed steps?
Okay,
That one.
on the screen. On the screen.
Anything from you, Renee, on, integrations? I mean, my thought was we could use the load functions as an example because they're HTTP endpoint. And then instead of the relay, but it's the same concept. But I would imagine it's more on the licensing side, which is like cheaper.
That's a big question in the end, obviously, then, okay, what can you set up and how much do it cost?
Exactly.
Then, because it's nice to look at the simple use case, obviously, but then the big question is, let's say you want to set something up, and given the current economic situation where a lot of companies are a bit more concerned, they always check how much it costs. And obviously, but I think overall, then there's a lot of value because you might still say, oh, it's going to cost us this much money, but you can obviously save also this much through automating things and not having to deal
Exactly.
with it through various other channels, etc. So having said that, I mean, cost is a concern, but we might save it somewhere else. Actually,
Exactly.
Yeah, also just to add to that, right? Imagine the cost of having an actual human answering X number of concerns versus having a bot answering. Yeah.
I think that's the
because we know that 80% of the questions can be probably answered by bot. with
Exactly.
prepared
Yeah, when it
bot.
comes to cost, it's always tricky, like, what you
That's
gain,
when you don't get-
tangible, intangible stuff. Yeah.
That's right.
No, I think enterprise right now, they understand the value of automating things, right? They understand how bot and AI actually helps them improve the business and also the experience of the users.
I mean, the amazing thing, there are many ways to, I don't know if Rome is the right place to go nowadays, but there are many ways to get there within Microsoft.
Yeah.
It's not just one thing that allows you to do. You can pick and choose whatever you're comfortable with. Any more questions, folks? You guys have been amazingly silent.
Amazing.
They were very active with many questions and all done in very silent. Huh? Oh, post lunch. Yeah. Michael, how about you, man? Any thoughts, just based on your prior?
This is actually a good use case, right? But when it comes to cost, when it comes to licensing, for example, you have to pay at least 3 licenses, right? You mentioned, of course, our virtual agents, WhatsApp, and the other Twilio for this. But I mean, I'm a pre-sales person, so we also need to to explain, to make sure that the clients understand the value of this,
Yeah.
especially on a scale, right? If probably the context of getting automated is just 100 message per day, that will not be a good solution for them. But if you're getting 10,000 messages a day and automating it, you don't need X number of person to manually do that.
See, but the thing is, you don't know, is the point there, right? I mean, as of now, it is because of a hurdle, but if you clear that hurdle, then it makes flow,
Right.
and now just imagine just to connect what you were doing, same sentiment would actually come from him on WhatsApp.
Yes.
And the extension goes to your virtual agent on the other side. We're actually analyzing the sentiment, doing the whole business process from there about, so it's like endless the amount of literally limited by creativity.
Exactly. Actually,
In addition to
other
this,
solution can be integrated.
Sometimes it's more on what audiences you want to bring your service to.
Right.
How easy to reach out to these audiences.
That's right.
Yeah, I think it's more on that. Why not SMS? Why WhatsApp? Why not Skype? Or yeah, there's certain things. These are things that people are looking for. Right? Yeah.
can we make use of that? For example, WhatsApp banking is nowadays getting more popular. Right? So we can also create templates, right?
Yes, you can.
Like the WhatsApp customized templates will be there, right? Like what are the options? Like say balance you want
Yes.
to check.
Yep.
And they will also, we can tag this to the authentication. Let's say if this number is the registered number of that particular user, and you can ask some confidential details to validate the personality, and accordingly,
Yep.
you can get some details also. You can go to the.
Exactly.
Because many of the banks in India are actually.
Yeah, that's what I'm coming from actually. Not only banks, health insurance companies, right? So recently I renewed my insurance through almost key details we got from WhatsApp. It's
Yeah.
WhatsApp chat.
Remember the discussion we have just now over lunch, right? How now you try to encourage all the farmers in India, like how easy everyone is using WhatsApp. So
Right.
how easy they can use WhatsApp to ask to consult the bot for some information on the pricing, for example. It's simple as that, right? So if you connect with WhatsApp, easily you can allow them to consult the bot instead of do I need to go to the computer to open up a website to do that, or do I need to install another app to do that, or just right at the fingertip, just WhatsApp?
Yeah, the key things nowadays with respect to insurance, health insurance,
Right.
and banking is happening mostly in WhatsApp actually. They started extensively in India actually.
There is actually one use case in Philippines. Basically, what they did, it's a public sector customer that we had. So it's for example, if it's in a Supreme Court, right? Supreme Court. So for example, if I want to ask for how can I bail, etc., and when can I visit, for example, my son who is in jail, something like that, right? Or when can I schedule the hearing, something like that. All of it automated via virtual agent. They started it on their Facebook channel, but now they're gonna be opening it on WhatsApp, Viber,
Exactly.
which is super helpful. It's like in the Philippines, like the government system is so bad, and how Microsoft is partnering with public sector customers in terms of digitizing stuff like this, but it's such a game changer because even during pandemic, we actually used Power Apps and Teams to have like hearings and all, and it actually helped more than 3,000 people that was in jail for a crime that they did not commit. I mean, it's very simple use case, but it really changed and affects lives, right? So, sorry, I got emotional.
No, I mean, wait.
It's really good. Power of Power Platform.
All right. So
Super.
I give you back about 15, 16 minutes. Maybe you can have a
Last
Bracket.
call, last call for questions online. Any folks online? Last call, folks. I'm literally gonna call on names. I know a couple guys are here. Let's see if they're awake after lunch.
questions.
Mr. Mohammed Hidayat, our famous Power Platform expert. Come on, sir, if you're up for any questions. I know you're not shy.
I wouldn't want you as my professor.
Hi, hi.
Hey,
Hello, everyone. Sorry, I can't join in person. Wonderful presentation from everybody. Yeah, I've been using Twilio for my application nowadays. So it's a good service, I would say.
Super, but any thoughts from your side? I mean, to augment what
Okay.
AK was saying? Since you've used it, anything you would like to share?
No, it's a good application to bridge between my, because I've been using it for driver booking. So
Ah,
I can get bookings from my company to my drivers using Twilio services.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
What's the endpoint when you say booking? Like, what's the endpoint?
The endpoint is an SMS to the driver, and the driver can reply whether they will accept the booking or not through the
Oh,
SMS.
wow. Okay.
And reply is sent back to Power Automate, whereby it's processed, and
Okay.
it will go to a sequence of approvals if need be.
Oh, brilliant. That's fantastic. Fantastic, man.
Yeah, I got a lot of questions sometimes when I face customers as well, like, hey, who is still using SMS? But you don't know, actually, we are all using SMS, the OTP stands. Yeah, so channel is a priority thing. Sometimes, yeah, you might not, you will never realize that actually the importance of it.
That's right.
Even if anybody is
Yeah.
calling me also, I'm saying you send me SMS. Don't call me because I may be in office or somewhere else. If you drop me SMS, I will know
Yeah.
that this is what I need to call or you want to do something. Or else, people often call, actually, it's really irritating because you will be somewhere else. You cannot pick the call. I think SMS still helpful.
Yeah, actually, we discuss a lot on the multi-channel, omni-channel stuff.
Exactly.
There are different technique to, yeah, to reach out to your customers.
Super.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for bringing
right.
us out.